Okay, remember that with these open things, like you kind of want to silence it with the picking hand. Like you do it here once, you can hear me here. Like you can only hear one string. It's weird.
Are you saying like to mute the one that you're not hitting at the time, or are you saying to like mute it shortly after you finish
So like, I'm holding it kind of like this. Remember, my picking grip is about using the thumb. So once I hit that third string, my thumb touches the fourth. So you don't hear it anymore. And then when I come back, these fingers touch the third string, so you don't hear that anymore.
It's actually kind of complicated, but I
It
see
is
what you
difficult,
mean.
yeah. It's definitely not easy. But it's something you might want to try to sort of attempt. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right. So for the next one we're going to do is muted playing. So you just touch the strings here, you don't... Okay. And then the next one's going to be ghosted, where you're just going to do air guitar. And you're just going to feel how delicate it is, how small the motions really need to be, and how it feels to play just super relaxed. And that's, you know, just kind of a last little thing. So let's go ahead and put on the backing track here for this. This should be 1A. And
that's gonna totally screw up my my plan of using the second camera, because I have to.
Oh, you gotta play it from there.
Well, I mean, I don't. I still don't have the interface like properly set up. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's okay. Like I can hear what your pick is doing. I don't actually need to see it.
For sure.
Sneaky like that. I've been hearing guitar players play for long enough that I can tell what their picking hand is doing. It's really crazy. Now, this is also going to switch directions too, from the down-up version here to the up-down version over here. But it's going to be the same both ways in terms of mirror opposites, I guess.
Alright, we're in 15.
Yeah, this is level 11 here.
Oh, 11, okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be
Just
1A.
alternate picking 1A.
Yeah. These are the core, fundamental picking movements. Let's see if we could do that. Palm muted. Then open string. And then muted. And then we do ghosted a little bit. And after the ghosted, we're going to switch to the other side. Up, down. Palm muted. Open strings.
So is the intention to play along with this, or use this as like a guide to like
play along
do
with
what we
that.
want to do?
Let's see if we could do it. I'm not sure. I think it's a little too fast, but do you think you could turn your guitar down just a little?
So that's yeah. Actually, a little bit.
And then maybe turn the phone up a little bit louder, perhaps. If it's possible. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now, let's see if we can do this.
I just want to practice the,
You want to start
the
over?
other ways. So it's
practice the other. And you switch that around now, right?
so now it's up, down. So up. So it's down. So it's
Got it.
okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I'll do my best to stay
Okay.
up it.
Now, we might want to slow this down a little, maybe, but we'll see. Palm muted, right? Open string. Muted. Ghosted. And now we're gonna switch. Palm muted. Open strings.
We're going back to the beginning.
I think it's a little fast though, man. All right. Yeah, so that was pretty good.
I'm gonna have to open it up in the app to.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit fast. We
The starting with down was definitely.
You mean starting with the up? Starting with the up, I could tell it was a little difficult. But you did the downs pretty well.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Let's do it on the 0.75, and then we'll see what we can speed.
Why is it not letting me get to A? Like the playlist when I click the 1A. Oh wait, I know why. I'm a genius.
Okay, so that was pretty good. Now, I want to tell you about this thing here. The picking hand motion that you make here. You see, a lot of guitar players tend to make scooping motions. And that's what I generally see your pick doing, coming very far away from the string and making this kind of motion here.
Right.
So we're adding more stuff than we really need. But what I drew here was a zigzag. That means that when you cross down, your hand should only make one motion. It should go down and up, no matter what you're doing. So if you're playing this, you want to try to angle your hand to the correct angle that it can go down, up, and zigzag like this, right? If your hand isn't angled, then you're going to need to like jump over the string. But if your hand is angled...
Are you saying because if the string, it'll be like this as opposed to like being able to like slide across it, kind of
not
like that?
sliding across, but literally crossing over.
It like pushes it down at the same time. It kind of does a little of both.
So here's your string, right? If your pick, you're gonna need two strings for this, by the way. But
right.
here's your two strings. Here's your pick. You're gonna pick this one, and what's gonna happen is if your pick is not angled, it's gonna cross over that string and hit the next string. But if your pick is angled like this, it hits this string, crosses over the next one like that. You see? So you need to actually angle your pick a bit so that when you finish the downstroke, you find yourself on the other side of the string of the next.
The other side of the second string.
The other side of the second string, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So you want to try to tilt your hand a little bit and angle it so that you can clear that second string a bit to play the next one.
So, but both of the exercises that we just did involved down, up, such that the down on the next string, like it was like that's like what you're describing is like the opposite of what we were doing.
Yeah. It's a little opposite, but you're gonna go down, which is fine. So keep it angled sort of inwards for this one, angled inwards. So then when you go up, you're gonna be sort of high enough that you can just go straight down, and you're in to the next string. You see what I mean? You have to angle it downwards. You see that happening?
I'm not sure I quite picking up what you're saying.
So this is a straight. Angle it down. Rotate your wrist down like that.
Down.
Bam.
Okay.
And now try to do that exercise. Down, up. You're gonna be kind of up in the air when you do the upstroke, so that you can go straight down to hit the next string, which should be down. Did that work?
I mean, I feel like I kind of was doing that a little already. Like, if anything, like The one that I have more problem with is angling my hand the other way. Like
Yeah,
up. It
angling
just
up. Sure, sure, sure. When you come the other way, you have to angle upwards. So angling this way. Let's see if I can say it's clockwise. You have to angle it clockwise when you're sort of staring at your hand from your hand. Makes any sense. Let's see, which way is clockwise? This is clockwise. This is counterclockwise. Wait, if you're looking down your arm, yeah, you need to angle it counterclockwise. Let's see here. Angle your wrist. So angle your wrist. For this one, it's going to be clockwise. And for this one, did that help with the sort of the did that kind of work?
I mean a little, yeah, and
A
I
little
also
bit.
feel like rotating not just vertically but also horizontally helps a little too, like such that like this is the string that you're actually like rotating like slightly like that
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
too,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
and so you're doing basically you're rotating like that and
Sure.
that
Yeah, yeah.
so that
It slides over easier. Yeah, that's definitely true.
so it's do. So that it's basically like do do do, and then you're like right on top of that.
Yeah, you got it. Good. Okay. So now for 1AA, this one is simply going to be the second box here, consistent, right? I think that's right.
I don't think it automatically went to.
Yeah, 1AA is going to be a consistent double picking on both strings. Like that. This one is again going to be rotated clockwise.
I can slow it down. So I'm still going down the same directions, right? It sounds like the same exact thing. We can switch sides. That's not switching sides. Just repeated the same thing.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and listen to that. It's awkward.
Now it is switching.
Now it's switched. That's weird. Let's see which one comes up next.
I think it might be done after this. Or maybe it's repeated the other one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess what happened was
you repeated the first one and then but did not repeat the
maybe
second.
we started didn't I?
I mean, I can try playing the whole thing again.
Okay, one more time at the beginning here.
It's definitely a little more challenging without the rest in between.
Yeah, I think what happens there is the very first picks are not very clear. So the very first two picks, sometimes you don't hear them as well.
On the video?
Yeah, on the recording.
Oh, I don't know if I noticed that particular issue, but I will say that I feel like I had the down, down, up was much easier than the up, down. Like it just feels much less natural to go the other direction. But
all right, well, you're doing okay with that. So, you know, we want to get these faster. Again, like these technique exercises, we do them slow, which is good, but we want you to be able to do them fast. We want to be able to get to 600, 700, 800. Be nice. This is the next one. These ones. There's no double pick here. It's only going to be this one here. So there's no double pick here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's backwards here. Make sure to just watch your hand. Watch the pick. next one, we rotate counterclockwise. No, clockwise. Clockwise. Rotate clockwise. Okay. So for the next one, it's going to be just the same things, but no spaces, no pauses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. On the last note for these, we have to twist back. Have you noticed that?
I mean, the wrist.
So
when you're talking about rotation, you're talking about rotating with respect to like this versus that, like that way.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, obviously, but
Well, the first part, you do the first 3 notes rotated. Let's say we're on the first part. You do the first 3 notes rotated counterclockwise. But on the last note, you have to twist back. You see? In order to clear that string.
okay. Yeah, I do. I see what you mean.
See that? Nice. Okay, good.
I do.
Okay. So these are pretty easy.
1C, or is there 2A? What is that all about?
2A is going to be the second one here. So this is just a little bit longer. These ones here, the very beginning ones, they're the fundamental chord, right? Yeah.
Slow it down a bit.
Yeah, do you see how this one you have to actually twist? You start like one direction, and then you start twisting the other direction, and then you have to twist back. This one's longer.
So I think
Remember, this one's longer. Got to do 5 on that string.
hold on.
Da na 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 na.
Okay. Sweet.
All right, so let's try the next one here, which is going to be 2C, right? Yeah, this one's going to be a consistent one. C. You sure we're doing the right one here? Are we doing the right one?
2C.
So 2C is going to be these ones. 4, 2, 1.
I mean,
Yeah, that's correct. That's playing correctly. But I'm not sure if I'm hearing the correct notes out of your guitar. Yeah. Perfect, okay. Then for the other side. Four, two, one.
so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Oh my god, it scared the shit out of me. Fucking autoplay. It's cool guitar. Alright. That was
Okay, so
not great, but
yeah, remember that the goal of these little clockwise and counterclockwise things is to be able to essentially emulate what playing on a single string is like. Because you see, when you're playing on a single string, it's really easy. You just go down, up, right? You do that really easily. So if you do this one, for example, you could do it much faster if you've got this clockwise grip, because then what happens... Or the other way. Do you hear when I don't rotate enough, it touches the string? I'll go a little slower.
it's really hard.
Good question, so...
Anyway.
Well, that's a good question. You're correct in that sense, where you should sort of be doing that. But that's called directional picking.
It's definitely. Oh, you're alternate, so you're this is more of an exercise as opposed to what makes sense.
Yeah, because there's different types of picking. You have sweep picking, directional picking, alternate picking, which would be both inside picking, outside picking. You know, you have, I guess those are pretty much it. String skipping even. But yeah, so we have to practice both the outside picking and the inside picking and directional picking, which is the one that you're thinking of. It makes sense to do down, down there at the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely faster because as you're already coming down, so just
you're already coming down.
Just follow that path as opposed to like it's. I mean, there's no way around it. It absolutely is going to be faster every single
absolutely, time. Of course, every single time. There's no question because you're cutting out the extra motion. However,
yeah, right.
There's a reason we want to do it sometimes like this, and that's if you're trying to play rhythmically. Okay, if you're trying to play super fast speed-wise, it makes sense to do it directional picking because you're playing fast speed. But keep in mind, that sort of removes the rhythmic element of this. if you want to play it rhythmically, having little pauses in between or playing it nice and like kind of like a beat, then you want to play alternate picking. It's going to make things a lot more rhythmic. All right. I just noticed that it was very difficult for me to play like cool riffs when I was playing only directional picking, and I realized that, and I was like, dude, I have to learn how to do alternate picking in order to make it sound like cool rhythmic. All right. So you did pretty well in this picking exercise. Like, you know, your speed is good, but I mean, I could say it's like maybe like a maybe it's like, what do you think? A 5, maybe a 4? I'm not sure. Maybe a 5. I think a 5 would be okay.
Go the 8.
Well,
no, 5's fair.
5's all right, because you know you got it pretty down pretty well, but we want to just do it a little faster and stuff, and you know, well, that's okay.
No doubt. No doubt.
Pretty good though. That wasn't bad.
That was legit. So, can you bring up your screen again?
I can't actually share my screen unless you.
Oh, I have to give you permissions, don't I?
Yeah. Oh,
there you be.
Right on.
Forgot about that step. Can you go back to the lesson, like the checklist thing? Yeah. So let's see here.
I mean, we're pretty good. Like, I think, you know, we're gonna do more of these types of exercises in the next book. So, you know, if you understand how to do them, you know, I think we'll be.
You know what I think? You know what I think would be cool is if the level of achievement 1 through 10 was less subjective and it was like clearly defined. Like, for example, like triad octaves, you have to be able to do the entire thing at a certain BPM. Like this level 1 means you do it under this BPM. Even like, I mean, that's probably going to way overcomplicate things. It's probably just too much work. But
yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about whether I should make it.
Because I was like, what? That way, I'm like, okay, cool. I got to get to like, you know, BPM 0 mistakes to get that 10. You know what I mean? That way, there's like a clearly identifiable like number to get to, and then it's like less about like, oh, just go faster and faster. It's better. You know, it's like less subjective, less discretionary.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to. I guess, you know, I would like to have that kind of a thing, but
it'd be a lot of work to do that for every single one of these.
Exactly. There's a lot of different ones.
You'd have to like it would be like a game, like weapons in a game, right? Like okay, do I buff this? Do I make this harder? Do I make, you know what I mean? Like it would take a lot of work to achieve that. Yeah.
So I mean, it is for some of these things, like especially for improvising, like pentatonic grouping, like that one's I can't possibly have any. There's no way I can give any kind of. That's 100%
well, you could subjective. Say no. Well, not necessarily. Like let's say like, okay, cool. Start at, you know, on the E, just like for example, like on the string, start at the G and go from the G to the G, and back at a certain BPM or like a certain time, which is basically.
Well, that's for 2-string drills. That makes sense. The 2-string drill speed exercise.
Pentatonic.
This one's for improvising.
Okay. Well, for sure then. Yeah, you're right. That would be very impossible.
It's very difficult.
But it would, like if your pentatonic 2-string drills and your riff making is also one that would be subjective.
It's so hard. I don't even know like how to begin.
Basically, if your riff making and your pentatonic 2-string drills are like both really high rated, then the pentatonic grouping is going to be like basically like almost like shoe-in guaranteed it's going to be high rated as well. Sure. But you could have really bad riff making, really good 2-string drills, and have really bad pentatonic grouping as a result of that. Or you could have really good riff making, horrible pentatonic 2-string drills, and your pentatonic groupings. So basically, you really need both 3 and 4 and 5 to really make number 8 work. Because making really implies improvising in some sort, and so does pentatonic grouping. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be tough to have those two and not have number eight.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Like, I wanted to even make like a test where like you would fill in like multiple choice questions and stuff. That would help a bit. We'll see. You know, maybe I can make some of those, make some multiple choice tests and stuff like that.
But for all the ones that are like, it's a very clearly defined
yeah,
pattern that you have to do, you could probably figure out with relative ease. Like for example, the two finger speed, like that. Like I mean, you've already even alluded to the fact that you hit this BPM, but
yeah, exactly.
To
For
get up
most
to
of
10,
them, for most of them, it's literally the speed that I recorded at. If you play it at that speed, that's pretty much like an 8. If you could do it faster, maybe a 9. If you could play it with the original song, it's a 10. That's pretty much how it works.
it's so funny, dude. Like we have these meetings at my office. They're called level 10 meetings, and like at the end of the meeting, you have to rate how the meeting went. Like it's like a chance for you to be like, well, I don't feel like we really accomplished everything, so I'm gonna give it. And literally, like it really should just be a scale of like 0 to 1 because nobody really gives below a 9. It's always like 9.5, 9.8. It's like so stupid. It's like, dude, the meeting was okay. It was a 5. It's in the middle. There's nothing wrong with a 5. But if in this, it would be like if somebody died in the meeting, would be like a 5.
What?
It's just
Who
a
comes
bad.
up
It's
with
just a
those
bad.
scores?
It's just a bad system. Well, because like if somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna give an 8, everybody like freaks out at you like you're being negative or something like that. So everybody just always gives like 9s. It's stupid. It's a stupid.
Yeah,
stupid
well,
thing.
that's why I
hate
tend
it.
to be very clear with you guys. I'm telling you guys that most students can't get 10s. Most students
sure.
don't get 9s. Most students don't get 8s. 6s, 7s, 4s are okay. It's getting you started. So you got to be a little bit clear on what these
You got to identify what the numbers
what it
mean
means exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think they define it very well.
Yeah.
In this case, but like, did you get a 10 on something that means like, yeah, it went pretty well. It didn't necessarily accomplish everything we wanted to accomplish, but we got pretty far. So yeah, 7. Like that's
Yeah.
wrong
A
with
10 is like freaking perfect. Like it's gonna be studio quality.
that. Right.
Maybe
People are,
exactly like the speed of the song, and it's gonna be.
It's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like, no offense to Mormon people, but Mormon people are like always super really happy, like yeah, like they just have like, according to the Book of Mormon, the musical, it's like you're expected to like have that like attitude of like super positive and happy, and if you don't, then people like are wondering what's wrong with you. So it's like a social, like a. It's like a social expectation in like a professional workplace. It's so stupid.
That's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, it is.
I think at this point we can probably pass you to the next level, unless you want to work a little bit more on these things here. This basically just the technique stuff, right?
I mean, like I said, like like if we're gonna be hitting those same issues just in a different
same issues,
way, or
different
complex
exercise.
way. Let's
do it, right?
Okay.
Okay, that's good. We've pretty much gotten the main music theory concepts out of this, were the 2-string drills and the pentatonic groupings, and you did pretty well with those. I give you good scores on that. And the riff making, we're gonna start in the next book. The first exercise is a riff making, another one. So I have to do that again. All right, man. So
For sure.
This is pretty good, man. I mean, it takes some time to get through all this. Like you saw, the most difficult one was going to be the technique stuff, because you have to be just so perfect on the technique. You don't get good scores on technique if you're not good at it,
Definitely, man.
And it's going to be really hard to play at 600 if you don't have perfect technique. It's really, really hard to play at 600 if you don't have perfect technique. How are you going to do that? There's a reason you can't get past the 400. It's because your technique's not perfect.
Right.
If you mix it a little bit better, you might get to the 500. You make it a little bit better, and you might get to that 600. You just might. Wasn't it hard, man, playing at 400? That last time when you did it, that was your max speed. Like, you almost got it, but
no, still. I mean, it definitely is challenging. I mean, to stay in sync for sure, at those higher speeds is a very difficult thing to do. But
right.
I mean, ultimately, it's the simplest version of like high speed shredding. So it's
Exactly.
like if you can't do it there, then you're never going to be able to do it even close to that fast in you know actual more than just
Right. Well, we're
strings.
always gonna have that gap where you train at this speed and then you're able to play at this speed. We always have to do it like that. All right. Well, that was pretty fun, dude. Good job, man. We did really well on the picking. I was actually surprised. Your picking has much greatly improved since the last time that we
I think the
tried to.
last weeks prior to this one were very, I don't know, something about it, like a lot of better than in the past, but
Nice.
for
It's
sure.
just because you got to know the principle. Once you internalize the principles of good technique and these little tweaks that you got to do to your hands, when you get those and you understand them, I don't have to repeat them because you already know how
For
to
sure.
do them. So then you start to
Definitely.
get faster and better.
No doubt. No doubt.
Awesome, man. Okay, dude, I guess I'll see you around, okay? That was really nice.
All right,
All
Mateo,
right.
we'll see you, man.
Peace, dude.